Why hip hop switch on Lil Wayne? Oh my god, his recent album was Garbanzo.
At
Dude.
Byberg, we've done the homework so you don't overpay for business insurance.
His latest artwork
save up to 20%.
was
Lil
bad.
Wayne is
But wait, yeah, we're doing. I'm checking out. If you guys wanted to like me share your artwork on the stream, it will be on Sunday, guys. We'll do that by Sunday, so like every 2 weeks we'll do that. So yeah, post them up, guys. Post them up.
undeniably one of the greatest rappers of all time, one who has influenced an entire generation. But these past couple of years, Wayne has done a few things that have caused a lot of hip-hop fans to begin to turn on him, with many accusing him of being washed, especially after the release of his latest album, The Carter 6. So today, I want to look into why everybody is switching up on our boy Lil Wayne. Also, really quick, I want to say Spotify lets you put your videos on their platform now. Like, you can watch the video or just listen to the audio.
I can't
so
do it.
if that's
I don't know
something you
what
guys are
they're
interested in, if you just want to like listen rather than watch or whatever, the links are all in the description. I think it's a cool feature, so I'm uploading all my old videos on there along with my new ones. So yeah, feel free to do that. Anyways, let's continue. So recently Lil Wayne released his album The Carter 6, and let's just say it wasn't very well received. If you aren't familiar with Lil Wayne, he has an album series called The Carter, and pretty much every album in this series has banged. Whether or not you think they were good, they have historically sold insanely well. The Carter 1 in 2004 sold 878,000 units. The Carter 2 in 2005 sold 1.4 million units. The Carter 3 in 2008 sold a whopping 3.8 million units, and the Carter 4 in 2011 sold 2.3 million. I'm not going to mention the Carter 5 because it didn't sell nearly as many, in part because it was more recent. Regardless though, it still had some bangers. So clearly this series has a very impressive legacy, with Wayne putting out amazing tracks on every single album, and fans were extremely excited for the sixth iteration of this series. And I think it's safe to say that this was a big letdown. Now I'm not going to lie, I don't think the whole album was all that bad, but it definitely wasn't great overall. And a lot of people absolutely hated it. Fans immediately tore it apart on Twitter, with people posting memes like this. And it wasn't just Twitter that had this opinion, but other music critics as well.
And look, I'm not going to beat around the bush with this review. This album was pretty bad. Not just bad, but shamefully bad at points. Bad form, bad ideas, bad taste, bad execution. The album doesn't even have the decency to be bad in one single way.
In this series, this installment is weak. You're getting lackluster performances. You're getting weak production. I don't even want to call it weak. I want to call it bad production. You're getting an underwhelming feature list where you could have gotten some legends on here, or even some guys that would have been able to put some energy or something back into this track.
I still don't know why you didn't have Drake and Nicki Minaj.
You know, Fantano said the Elephant song was his favorite one, which is insane. But don't worry, guys, I'll play it in a second. Regardless, though, Twitter was in a huge uproar after this album came out. One person said, "You know the album ass when nobody arguing on the timeline, LMAO. This shit hurt, man." Another said, "I haven't seen the TL be this unified calling an album trash in a good while." There were so many memes all over Twitter, and I'm going to be honest, they were pretty funny. And this was definitely my favorite one of the bunch. I think that it got so bad that the Carter 4 re-entered the Billboard 200, with fans saying every real Wayne fan ran to their favorite Carter after having their heart broken by Carter 6. It's honestly hard to describe in words how bad some of these songs were.
We just throwing shit at the wall at this point. When we get to the end, it's just like,
oh no, yeah, it was just random shit. I felt like, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude.
What up, though? All my niggas cutthroat, cut a nigga.
It's so bad, dude. It's so bad, man.
This is not real. I'm being so serious, bro. This is not real. What the fuck is this beat, dog? What is this beat, dog? I'm not gonna lie. We're trolling. You're dead trolling, bro. You're not serious at all. You don't give a fuck. Do you hear this?
Head off, you looking like you fumble. Smoking like double dutch. All you niggas jump rope.
You're dead. You're serious right now, dog.
Granted, this was probably the worst song on this album, but man, there were definitely some rough ones. He even had a line where he said, "And I don't smoke bunk, I only smoke that strong. Eyes tight like my name Wong Ding Ding Dong." To be entirely fair to Wayne though, this project is expected to sell 110 units first week with a #2 debut on the Billboard 200. However, compared to a lot of his previous projects, this isn't that great. But why is this such a big deal? Especially for an artist who's been in the game for decades, he's already established himself as a legend. Who cares if he puts out one bad album. Huge artists drop disappointing music all the time and they're able to bounce back. I mean, Wayne himself has even done it before with Rebirth. Well, to understand why people are so upset and disappointed in Lil Wayne, we have to rewind back to the Super Bowl. The September before the 2025 Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar was announced as the headliner for the halftime show, and Lil Wayne was pretty upset. First, he posted on his Instagram story, confused, disappointed, angry, but most of all, inspired. We'll never again be in a position or have the GOAT in a position where we are at the mercy of someone else's decision. We will make the decisions. And then he posted this video as well, expressing his problems.
That hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about, it hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown. And for just automatically mentally putting myself in that position like somebody told me that was my position. It made me feel like not getting this opportunity. And when I felt like
that, dude. Bro, the thing is, like, why would they have Lil Wayne perform? Could he really put out a really good show for the halftime show? And I feel like he didn't. He couldn't do it, especially in the state that he is right now. Because he didn't really put out a lot of good like projects in recent time. Obviously, you could obviously do classics and all that, but I guess like they're probably also looking for like current stuff too. So I don't know. Yeah, Wizzy threw a little fit about not being picked for the Super Bowl, and no one was entitled to that show. Yeah, it was like he was entitled to it, but it's like, why would they pick someone like Lil Wayne over Kendrick Lamar, who have like one of the greatest years in that year? You know what I mean? One of the greatest like movements in hip hop, and so they're like, why would they pass on mix of Kendrick Lamar over Lil Wayne? You know what I mean? Because Lil Wayne, again, no offense to him, he's one of the greatest of all time, but he's irrelevant now. He's like, that happens to a lot of rappers. That happens to everybody. And eventually, it happens to everybody. You know what I mean? There's just very few rappers that stay relevant because they continue working on music and they don't take breaks. Like, for example, Eminem. He's still relevant because he's still putting out albums. Are all of them great? No, but he's still putting out albums. So like J. Cole, like he's still putting out albums. Kendrick Lamar, he's still putting out albums. Drake, he's still putting out albums. Like none of them have been slowing down. They're still putting out the work and stuff. But like there are just artists that just like are not really as at their peak anymore. Like Nas, he's still putting out albums, but he's not doing what he used to do back in the day. It's just how the world works, you know. He could have been picked, but he wasn't, and he wasn't. He acted like he was entitled to it. Like that was the issue. Yeah, that's the thing too. Because if he never did this, he never posted his like frustrations or anything like that. He probably could have made an appearance with Kendrick Lamar. You never know. You never know.
you guys reminded me that I ain't without y'all. And that's an amazing reality.
The main reason that Wayne felt this way is because the Super Bowl was hosted in his hometown of New Orleans. Also, Jay-Z's been in charge of the Super Bowl for the last few years.
I literally forgot that Jay-Z was in charge.
So Wayne really thought that he had an in, and has expressed interest in doing it before on multiple occasions.
Let's think about this for a second. Lil Wayne, headline Super Bowl in New Orleans. How badly do you want to hear those words?
Just as bad as I would want to see my name at the top of that list when I was that whatever age it was, and I would bust into the office and get that Billboard magazine. Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
He has also said that he would kill to play the Super Bowl and things along those lines in multiple interviews. So when he was denied, Wayne and a bunch of others were pretty upset on his behalf. Nicki Minaj and others called out the Super Bowl and Jay-Z for not letting Wayne perform, saying things like denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no reason other than your ego. Your hatred.
You know what's crazy? I haven't got this type of bot thing in a while, dude. That's crazy. Is this actually a bot? It was created in 2020. That's crazy. Um, Weezy is hardly irrelevant. It's hardly irrelevant. He thought he was entitled because he was from New Orleans, but there are modern artists. Um, Modern hard artists are from New Orleans and who are up in who wasn't picked like Suicide Boys. He shouldn't have took it personally, but that's the hardest. I can't read that the hottest artist at the moment was asked. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but here's the thing. What I'm talking about relevancy. It's like I'm talking about in the modern era of hip hop, right? When you think about hip hop today, you don't think about Lil Wayne, and you don't think about certain rappers that put a lot of time and that put a lot into the industry that made it really great, right? And it's just like not to tarnish Lil Wayne's name, but it's just because he hasn't put out a lot of music in a very long time, except for the recent one, which did not help. That's why it was kind of like he wasn't forgotten. It was just more like people want to hear what's going on now, right? The now. Um, so that's what I meant by that. Because again, I'm not saying he's completely irrelevant, but he is irrelevant in the current hip hop era. That's what I meant by that. And he's just been crashing out hard lately. Exactly. It's not been looking good at all, man.
For Birdman, Drake, and Nicki got you punishing.
Not Kanye, but still, yeah. Like it's like Kanye is like really lost it, but it is fucking insane that he can put out music like hell, like that person, and it's like he's not irrelevant, but he's not irrelevant for the wrong reasons at this point. Nobody gives a shit about Yee music anymore. And like especially after he dropped that song, I would not be surprised if you would never hear a great Kanye West album ever again. Like because nobody wants to give it a chance, or not many people are going to give it a chance, or maybe like Honda credits are out of like curiosity, and that's what they do with reviews and stuff. But yeah, at this moment, does anyone really want a Kanye West album? No, not really.
Lil Wayne. But not everybody thought that Wayne deserved the spot. I mean, it was given to Kendrick Lamar after all, who just had the craziest year, arguably, of his career with winning the beef with Drake and putting out tracks like Not Like Us. Fans began debating online whether or not Lil Wayne even deserved the spot, with multiple people saying he wasn't a great performer. One fan on Reddit said, "Anyone who has seen Wayne live knows he puts on mediocre, low-effort shows, and that's if he even shows up." Many were reposting some rough moments from his concerts on Twitter as well.
Oh my god.
There was even one that was pretty funny, I'll admit, and even Tyler the Creator liked it as well.
Oh yeah, that one. Oh my god.
This incident caused so many people to clown on Lil Wayne in the rap community, and even Orlando Brown started clowning on him.
I think that Jay-Z made the best decision ever. Well, I don't want this shit, but I don't want to do. I don't want to do it, but I do.
Which is crazy when you got Orlando Brown acting like you're the tweaker. This started an entire conversation around Wayne's performance abilities
Like,
and why
oh
he
my
may have
God,
not been
bro.
picked. For example, there was a concert in 2023
Man,
where
remember
after
that
playing
Daft
music
Punk
for 30
remix?
minutes,
I miss,
he hopped off stage so some artists from his
Synergy.
label
Yeah,
would
of course,
come out and
everybody
perform,
does.
which doesn't seem that bad, right?
Kanye West made some of my favorite albums of all time, right? Like My Beautiful Dark Fantasy, 808s. Like he made some of the greatest albums of all time. It just sucks that he lost his mind.
Well, after the crowd wasn't really feeling it, I mean, they came to see Lil Wayne. Wayne came back out, did a little rant, and then just canceled the show.
We appreciate it, but we ain't about to be bending over backwards for these folks. We work too hard for this shit. We work way too hard. This motherfucking artist Allen, that was Twitch, that was John. We on Young Money. We appreciate y'all time.
Fans were very upset, and this was brought back up again during the Super Bowl conversation, cited by some as another reason why Wayne should not have been allowed to
character, by the
perform.
way.
And this isn't the only time Wayne has walked off stage.
Orlando Brown, that's his character. It was already like that was already exposed, I believe. What was it? I would rather put a classic album every few years than many mid albums though. That's Drake. You describe Drake. Like, no offense. Like, if you're a Drake fan, he puts a lot of mid albums. Why do people remember Drake music? Is because he puts like 1 or 2 bangers, but the whole album is forgettable. That's the difference between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Drake puts out really good hits, but his albums suck ass. Like, that's a full album, right? Or like they're very mid. They're not like the greatest of all time. But when Kendrick Lamar puts out an album, they're more memorable because they put more time into those albums, the concept of those albums. That's like the difference. But yeah, like you literally described Drake pretty much, or like the idea of that. But yeah, Orlando Brown. Yeah, I believe it was already exposed, or he did it like that. What he does is just a character. He does that to get paid, to make money, to be on podcasts and stuff like that.
Stage, like this time when he was playing at High Times, and he said he never wants to be booked for it again and then left. Also, I forgot what it was, but I'm pretty sure it happened like a couple other times too. So people really use this as a big argument as to why the Super Bowl might not want to entrust this extremely important performance to Lil Wayne. Regardless of what your thoughts on the situation were, Wayne continued to complain about it, which I think really rubbed fans the wrong way.
Yeah,
like when he gave the speech at Wheezy Fest a couple months later.
That moment I said to myself, I want to be on stage for the Super Bowl one day in front of my mom. And I worked my ass off to get that fucking position, and it was ripped away from me. But this motherfucking moment right here, they can't take that.
Tell me if you're feeling this way. The internet that we've all so come to depend on has become one of the most dangerous places you can go.
Let's see. Yeah, people are disappointed because all the Carters were bangers and Weezy let a bad Carter slip, so now he tainted the Carter series streak broken. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's just like I felt like he got too much into his head, and he wasn't. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know how long it took him to make this album. Like, I don't know how long he actually put time into this album. It felt like he did it like last minute. Like I am like the Playboy Carti, I Am Music. That album was garbage. Like, was one of the worst albums ever released. I don't know which one's worse. This one, Lil Wayne's Current Carter, or Playboy Carti's I Am Music album. Those two were complete garbage. And a lot of people agree with that because like it kind of sounded like he just did that last minute. He didn't put in time. He didn't put in effort. The concept was all over the place. He said he repeated a lot of the lyrics all the time. He was even like not in a song on one of them. The person, like the DJ guy, whatever, the producer, was fucking annoying. And it was just like a minute video, minute music, stuff like that. He had like maybe 1 or 2 bangers out of 30 songs. It was a very horrible album. I think I gave it like a 3 or 4 out of 10. But yeah, this like yeah.
They take that from me.
People responded saying things like, "You never had it, bro, ever. So how the f was it ripped away from you?" On top of that, fans were also upset with Wayne because Kendrick has been a big Wayne fan for years, very openly throughout his entire career.
Wayne ain't no new jack to the game, like I said, you know. He influenced a lot of styles and a lot of sounds, and I could say I was influenced by a certain sound and a flow and the cadence, you know, that he brought to the game, which was very unique. Me being a young boy in the game and listening to him, like, yo, okay, I need to learn this and that, you know, and that definitely was a perspective from that tape.
So when Wayne acts this way and keeps complaining and acting like he's entitled to it, a lot of people were upset and felt like he should have been proud of Kendrick, especially since Kendrick is openly inspired by Wayne. Not too long after this, on Kendrick's track Whacked Out Murals, which was released around this time, he said, "Used to bump the Carter 3, I held my rolly chain proud. Irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down." Later on that track, he said something that almost seemed like a diss when he said, "Won the Super Bowl and Nas the only one congratulate me. All these people agitated. I'm just glad they showing their faces. Quite frankly, plenty artists, but they outdated. Old ass flows trying to convince me that you they favorite." So clearly Kendrick was not happy about Lil Wayne's reaction. Wayne actually seemingly responded to this on Twitter by saying, "Man, what the fuck I do? I just be chilling and they still come for my head. Let's not take kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep. I beg you all. No one really."
Oh my god. Yeah, funny that you got the beware of the internet ad because Weezy was just way too much in his comments. I feel like his own comment section was like gas him up to think he was entitled to the Super Bowl. Yeah, pretty much. Like I don't know what the hell he was thinking, man. Like he legit was like he was too. Yeah, he got too much into like the internet world, pretty much. I don't know. It was just very weird. The entitlement
Wants destruction,
and very whiny.
not even
It
me,
became very
but I
whiny.
shall destroy if disturbed. On me. Somehow this didn't ever end up leading to any public problems between the two, which honestly is a little bit disappointing. I mean, I think a rap battle between those guys would have been sick. But regardless, Wayne said on the Skip Bayless show just a few weeks later that he had no problems with Kendrick.
And you know, when we speaking, obviously he can't control that. And, you know, so he didn't let me know. It ain't like he can control it or nothing. And also, I've spoken to him and I wished him all the best and told him he
Did you?
better
Good.
kill it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you better kill it. You gotta kill it.
Okay. Well, did he say anything to enlighten you about these lyrics about you? I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. I don't know exactly what that means. If he's sort of
No, he ain't. I don't think he knew he didn't have to do anything. There was no explanation that was needed for that. I think I understand. Again, that was my first time hearing it when you just said it.
Okay.
But I understand those words. Like I said, I think he just mean that he made it there, and his hard work is the reason why he made it there.
It was a little strange that he said he never heard those lyrics. However, in all fairness to Wayne, he seems to forget everything and doesn't really seem to be in the loop at all. But despite that, people were happy that they had squashed the beef and that Lil Wayne wasn't dragging it anymore. At least until he did keep dragging the situation. First, he did a Super Bowl ad with Cetaphil, the skincare company, which poked some lighthearted fun at the situation while teasing his upcoming album.
Hey, we still going?
Nah, this is time sensitive. Let's get it.
Then a few months later, he did an interview with Rolling Stone and said he would never consider playing the Super Bowl again after he said they stole that feeling. And he sounded a little bitter in this interview because he said he didn't watch Kendrick's performance. He said when it came on, he went to play pool and that every time I looked, it was nothing that made me want to go inside and see what was going on. Which to me reads like he was really upset about the situation to that day. Like, how are you gonna act like, oh, me and Kendrick are cool? Go crush it, bro, and then say it didn't really look like anything I was interested in, I didn't even watch it. Like, that just seems disrespectful. And this is the attitude that upset a lot of hip-hop fans. Of course, many people still sided with Wayne, but it definitely hurt his image. Wayne continued to say in this Rolling Stone interview that the NFL fucked up and that since he is working on the Carter 6, they could have had some music, but instead they got rapping, which again comes off to me.
Honestly, I'm very happy about that because the Carter 6 sucked ass, bro. It sucked ass. Yeah, Weezy should really kick the cup. He's been leaning since the down of time. He's got to hit his congenital abilities hard. Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. That's why he can't remember his lyrics. He needs a prompt, which is nothing wrong with that, by the way. But he needs a prompt every time he performs live because to say his lyrics. You know?
Is like disrespectful to Kendrick, and it's especially ironic now as the Carter 6 is out and many people wouldn't quite call that music. He also said a few other things in this interview too, like that the NFL apparently was telling him beforehand to be more public facing before the show as if he would get the spot, and that someone from the NFL apologized to him after Kendrick was selected. So I can totally understand why he would be upset, but the seeming disrespect towards Kendrick is what really are rubbing fans the wrong way, along with him dragging it for so long. It seems as if the Super Bowl situation, on top of all of the discussion from the fans, affected Lil Wayne so much that it ended up bleeding through to his music and almost possibly hurt the quality of it in this latest project.
You're Lil Wayne. You're fucking Lil Wayne, bro. You don't have to be on a track like, yo, I'm the greatest of all time and I can be myself. I don't need to be anybody. Like, you don't need a song on here talking about I'm gonna be myself and I'm happy to be myself and I don't need to be anybody else. I can be me. Like, you're Lil Wayne. You don't need to be up and down this album talking about like I'm the greatest of all time. Nigga, we know. Just rap. Like you were doing those first like few songs and then it was like, it's like this internet must have got to you or some shit and everything was just about trying to convince niggas that you're the best instead of showing why you are the best, why people call you the best by just rapping. Oh my God, this is more like pleading his fucking case, dude.
Rather than actually doing.
Oh, by the way, guys, he could make a comeback because guess who made a bad album and made a comeback? multiple times. Eminem. He put out very like not that great, very bad albums, but then he came back like holy shit. You know what I mean? So it's not over. Lil Wayne could easily be like, all right, I fucked up on this one, and he could make a song or two about like him fucking up on the Carter 4 and making up to people. You know what I mean? Because remember, I think he still has his mixtape series too as well that does well.
Doing what everyone knows Wayne can do, which is rap and put out bangers. It seems like after all the barking over the Super Bowl and saying he was going to put out some real music, he never actually came with any bite.
He had this chip on his shoulder after missing out on the halftime performance for the Super Bowl, and this had a whole domino effect where people started criticizing his abilities on social media. People started comparing him to Kendrick and saying that he would get smoked in a battle, and there was a lot of like this sort of negative press around Wayne going into this album, and this felt like an opportunity for him to silence all of those haters.
And that's what I thought he would do.
I thought that that's what he would do, is remind people that he truly is still one of the greatest, but he squandered that opportunity, and this is a flop of an album.
The Super Bowl situation, how entitled Lil Wayne came off, how much he talked up his own album and was low-key dissing Kendrick just to put out a terrible album, all of these things have really left a poor taste in fans' mouths. But despite all of this, Lil Wayne's legacy still stands strong. I mean, after his insane run, there's nothing that I don't think can really take down his career. Before all the drama like we have today, Lil Wayne has been a fan favorite. After all the success he had in the 2000s with his commercial albums doing well and his insane mixtape run, people love.
And you know who has a similar to that, by the way? Kanye West. Like, people don't like who Kanye West now, man. But people will always love, or like always will call his old albums classics. You know what I mean? Like that, like exactly like Kanye West, bro. Exactly like Kanye West. Yeah, because like people be like, yeah, I don't like his new stuff, but damn, dude, his old stuff, I cannot stop listening to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, M and Wizzy were always my goats. He just needs to get out his feelings and get back to his bag. Exactly. Yeah, he needs to just get back into it. Don't think about the world. Think about yourself. In a way, and just put out bangers and put in time on the songs, dude. Don't rush it. You know, you can even do the Carter 4 or what was it? The Carter 6. Sorry, deluxe edition, where like you fix the songs. Like, I don't know, has any artist done that before? Where like a re-release of an album, but like a fixed version of it, like
of Lil Wayne. And of course, like I mentioned, he was putting out the Carter albums too, which people loved, and they did insane numbers. I've mentioned this before on this channel, but Wayne was putting out so many songs that 50 Cent called him a whore. He was also doing a ton of features around this time, one of my personal favorites being the track Duffel Bag Boy by Play a Circle, who, if you didn't know, was a duo that 2 Chainz was in. Very good song, you guys should check that out. Might be my favorite of all time by Wayne. I don't know, it could be, it's up there. I'm not gonna go over all the accolades and all the songs, but just know that Wayne has dominated the rap game for decades. And not only that, but his influence on hip-hop is immense. From popularizing the Lil name and a more creative, fun style of rapping and different sorts of flows, many artists nowadays are openly inspired and influenced by him.
Like, it's look at me, bro. Just look at me and what you see. I learned Lil Wayne. I wanted to be Lil Wayne. I would talk when I was younger, girls would say I look like Lil Wayne, so I would run with that. And I would wear the fedoras and I would wear the tight polo tees with the skinnies and wear the Vans and shit.
I think when I first started out, I just wanted to be just as important as Lil Wayne, because I felt like nobody was ever going to be as big as Lil Wayne, like during like Lollipop times and obviously like Carter 3 times. And
never got a chance to tell you, but yo,
These stickers came out way better than I expected. The Sticky brand delivers durable and vibrant stickers. Choose from their variety packs or upload your own artwork. These stickers are from their 70s summer.
Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Your 2 verses on that shit gotta be like, it's gotta be like one of the like top 5 verses of all time.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you, man.
And don't get me wrong, there are still a lot of people that think Wayne is in the right and that he should have performed at the Super Bowl, but I just think that this sequence of events in the past couple of years has not really been the best look for him. So it is possible that 2025 is just another bump in the road for Wayne, and he'll come back with more heat. But it's also possible that as he gets older, he's losing his touch. I think the Carter 5 was the last album that he really had people hype for. And rightfully so, I really enjoyed a few tracks off that album. And it was also on that album, on the track Dedicate, where he flexed the
or where they could just remix every song to be good. Yeah, there you go. They could do that, yeah.
fact that he really did start a lot of trends in music nowadays. But that was back in 2018. And it's been so long since Wayne really put out anything that crazy except for maybe a good guest verse or something. So it's possible that all the controversy this year was what will do his legacy in.
Regardless of what people want to say about how bloated they feel Future's discog might be, at the end of the day, he's gonna come through with a hit or something. Or at least it's been, you know what I'm saying, to that point. You know what I'm saying? It might not be every album, it might not be every day, but he's gonna be a part of a moment. But Wayne, bro. And I think a big portion of this that a lot of people overlook is the time period that we were last excited for Lil Wayne. What was the last time y'all was excited for Lil Wayne music?
Told you.
I already have my answer. I was gonna say Carter 5.
But like Dante said in the clip I played earlier, maybe it's best that Lil Wayne focuses less on what others are saying and either continues putting out great music like he's totally capable of, or just chills and focuses on other things that are important to him, rather than being consumed by the music industry and its followers. If you like this video, you might like my video about Kendrick Lamar's album GNX and what was going on back at that time. It also includes everything I talked about with the Lil Wayne situation and more, and Kendrick with the industry. Also remember, videos are on
Oh, well, that's what we said. Out of his feelings, back in his back. Pretty much. Like I'm telling you, you can do it. He's just like, he overthought it pretty much. He overthought it. If Lil Wayne had got into the Super Bowl, Jay-Z would have no longer been in charge of the halftime show. And it would have been a long time before another rapper was ever trusted with opportunity again. I don't think the Super Bowl era committee ever courted Lil Wayne. He lacks showmanship and is too proud about the street life, and clearly was a substance abuse issue. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I never thought of Lil Wayne putting out great performances or anything like that, if I'm being honest. If this album wasn't called a Carter 6, it would have received negative feedback. It would have received less than feedback. That's actually probably true. Yeah, because the Carter name of the album really, it's like, if you fuck up hard, right? If it was named something else, I think he's right. I think it would have been like, all right, it's not the greatest album, but it's not the worst album. Like, people would have like make some excuses and stuff, pretty much. Yeah, it was his big break, man. That's what I said. You know what? Yeah, you know what? I kind of agree with this one comment. They should put you should put less songs in the album and really like condense it, pretty much. And then it would have been a way better album if you did that, honestly.